Turner Field.
As the NL East leading Braves
take on the NL West leading Padres.
It's Braves Padres!
Right here on Peachtree TV.
The Braves play here! Woo!
Yeah!
Come on!
The NL East leading Braves have 70 games left, the next 3 against a fellow division leader. The San Diego Padres are in town for a 3-game set, and the first 2 games will be seen right here on Peachtree TV. You take a look at the standings in the National League East, and you see the Braves with that 5.5-game lead over the Mets and 6 over Philadelphia. While in the National League West, the Padres are on top. The Rockies have been leapfrogged by the Giants, who are 4 games out in the NL West. And we welcome you back to Braves Baseball here on Peachtree TV. Ernie Johnson along with Joe Simpson. Before we talk about this game tonight, let's talk about a little news as far as the Braves are concerned. Bobby Cox will sit this game out, serving a 1-game suspension for that episode over the weekend when Johnny Venters hit Prince Fielder. Johnny was suspended 4 games, but he is appealing, and that appeal will be heard next Tuesday. So up until that time, he can come out of the Braves bullpen, and he'll be in there tonight. Meantime, you look at that Milwaukee series, and they split it 2 games apiece. A couple of Braves getting big kudos for earning that split.
Yeah, one of those guys is Brian McCann, who came back home, Ernie, after the All-Star visit where he was the MVP and showed no signs of any fatigue. He had a very good series. He was hitting .385, 6 RBIs. Of course, he had the big grand slam on Sunday that was huge to break the game open. But another guy who's come off hot and from the disabled list is Matt Diaz. Since he's come back from the DL, just tearing it up. He had a good series against the Brewers. For the month of July, he's hitting an even .400 with 3 homers, so it's nice to see another right-handed bat swinging a good bat for the Atlanta Braves, too.
Jair Jurgens goes to the mound for the Braves tonight, facing the San Diego Padres, and you're saying, who are these guys? When we come back, we'll let you know about this bunch that leads the National League West. jump out at you. But how are they getting it done?
I'll tell you how they're doing it. Pitching and defense. The age-old key to success for any ball club, pitching and defense. They have the best team ERA in the National League, the best bullpen ERA in the major leagues. They've only made 34 errors in 91 games. That puts them atop the National League. And they've got the best road record. Now then, what's not on there is their offense. They don't score a ton of runs. They're down near the bottom of the league in runs scored, in homers, in a lot of different offensive categories. But they are second in the league in stolen bases. They do know how to play the game right. They do know how to manufacture runs, so you got to be on your toes when you play the Padres.
Really looking forward to this series so much that I broke out the new camp shirt. Just wish I had ironed it. We'll be back with the play-by-play description of Game 1 of this 3-game set. Wade LeBlanc, Jair Jurgens going head-to-head tonight. We'll be back here on Peachtree right after this. Full night for baseball at Turner Field in Atlanta. Temperature is 90 degrees. It's partly cloudy. A lot more sun than clouds at this point as we get ready for Game 1 out of 3 between the Braves and the San Diego Padres. And it's time for the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry Big Smiles seat upgrade, where some lucky fans are upgrading their seats. Keep watching to see where the new seats are located. Sponsored by the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. Let's take a look at the batting order for the Padres, brought to you by Stone Mountain Park and Evergreen Marriott Resort. For great getaway packages, visit stonemountainpark.com. Jerry Hairston leads it off at short, then David Eckstein. Adrian Gonzalez hits third, and Chase Headley, the third baseman, who has been hot lately. Nick Hundley's behind the plate. Jerry Hairston's brother Scott plays left field. Krista Norfia in right. Tony Gwynn in center. And Wade LeBlanc, the left-hander, does the pitching for San Diego.
And they'll be facing Jair Jurgens tonight. Jair, 24 years old, 6'1", 200 pounds, out of Curacao, makes his 9th start of the year. He's 2-3, 4.75 ERA, but his numbers since he came back from the disabled list cover 3 starts and an excellent ERA there of 2.25 and a 2-0 record. He made a start against San Diego earlier this year, one he'd like to forget. First game of the year between the Braves and the Padres in San Diego. The Padres won 17-2. Jair did not get out of the 4th inning, gave up 8 hits and 8 runs, and those 8 runs account for a third of the total runs he's given up all year long. The defense behind him tonight with a left-hander going. The outfield is Diaz in left, Cabrera in center, Hayward in right. Omar Infante is at third base, Chipper still nursing a tender hamstring, gets another night off. Gonzalez at short, Prado and Gloss on the right side. Brian McCann doing the catching, and it is a beautiful night for baseball. The umpires for this game and this series, beginning with Dale Scott, the crew chief behind the plate. Jerry Meals is at first base. Mark Wegner will work at second, and Dan Iasonia is at third. This Padres club just came off a sweep of the Diamondbacks. They're hot, playing good baseball, and 14-11 against the National League East this year in the games against the Braves division. So they're beating up on everybody.
Actually really picked it up last year, finishing 37-25, and really have kind of carried that momentum over. And here they sit with the best record in the National League by a half game over the Braves as these two get together for 3 here at Turner Field. And we appreciate you watching tonight on Peachtree TV. Jair Jurgens to face Jerry Hairston. As you recall, you talked about the first meeting between these teams, and Jair just saying, oh, it was just horrible, just terrible. There weren't enough adjectives to describe that experience. I mean, San Diego scored 10 in the 4th inning of that game en route to that 17-2 win.
Jair has had nothing. There's nothing wrong with his fastball. He's been up around 94, 95 in all his starts since he came back. He's still trying to find the release point on his changeup a little bit, his second best pitch. But it's getting better every start, according to Brian McCann.
Well, 1-1 is way upstairs, 2 balls and a strike. Jerry Hairston, the latest leadoff hitter for Bud Black, loves his experience. He's 33 years old, been around a while, and handles the bat well. Tapped foul, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
To expound on my description of their offense and how they struggle to score runs, it's not that they're a bad offensive team. It's just that they have to do everything right. They've got to move runners over. They've got to get bunts down when they have to, get a runner in from third with less than 2 outs, and they do that. They're good at it.
The 2-2. Swung right through it, 1 down. So a good start for Jair Jurgens as he gets Jerry Hairston swinging.
Well, what a good fastball to the outside part there at the knees. Good start for Jurgens.
Here's the veteran David Eckstein. "35 years old. He's won rings in both leagues. He was a World Series MVP with the Cardinals and a real steadying influence on this team. Talked to him before the game. Did any of the younger guys come to you and ask what this is going to be like, what this pennant race will be like? He says, well, on occasion they will come to me, but more often I will go to them. And just don't get too carried away, guys. You look at a series like this one, Joe, where it's division leaders, but you don't want young players on the team thinking, boy, if we get swept, we're really in trouble. Or if we sweep, we're better than we think we are.
Right.
That kind of thing.
Keep a level head. Well, this guy's always been a pain in the neck to the Braves and went 4 for 8 against Atlanta in that series out in San Diego in April.
Lined into center. That'll fall in front of Cabrera. And Eckstein's on. We talked in the pregame that you don't have a whole lot of household names on this team, but this is the guy who comes to mind when you say San Diego Padres, and that's Adrian Gonzalez.
And there's not a team in baseball that wouldn't like him to be a household name in their city. Quite a hitter.
"20 home runs, 8th in the National League. He's knocked in 60. To second. And under the glove of Martin Prado.
That's a rarity. Looked like Martin maybe trying to slow down just enough so they could plant and throw back to second to get the lead runner. trying to get that left foot down quickly, and as a result didn't get the glove down far enough. And he's going to be charged with an error as a result. 5th of the year.
So now runners at first and second with one out for Chase Headley, Padres cleanup hitter, switch hitter. And he takes a strike.
This team is on a real roll right now offensively. While they're down near the bottom and runs scored, 12th in the league, 14th in average. 7 of their last 9 games they've had 10 hits or more, a .324 team average. So they're a hot offensive club right now.
And Jair quickly ahead, 0-2.
Doubling their run production from most of the season. Some of that came against Arizona. Just beat up on the Mets last night.
Out of the zone, a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, jumped on him for a 4 spot in the first inning. Pelfrey threw 51 pitches in the first inning of that game.
He's been struggling. But there's a good indication, too, of what we're talking about. Their situational hitting. But Black was in your picture. He was just given a 3-year extension on his contract as manager of the Padres. It's no small part to the way he's run this club and gotten them into first place, and they've been there for a while. A team that nobody expected to do anything this year.
Headley waits on a 1-2 from Jurgens, and he struck him out. 2 on and 2 down.
That looked like a 2-seamer that had some movement on it. Right by him. It started in and cut back to the inside part of the plate, or the middle of the plate rather. Good pitch.
Here's a catcher, Nick Hundley. Hundley's got 5 home runs and 27 runs batted in. You know, it sounds simple, Joe, but I think sometimes the highest compliment you can pay a manager or a team is that they play the right way.
Mm-hmm.
And that really is kind of the simplified way to describe what San Diego has done. As your old teammate Bud Black was telling us before the game, you know, this team, they get the runner over when they need to. They make the right defensive play. They don't give away outs, that kind of thing. And plus the pitching is lights out.
Pitching's been brilliant. They can't afford, as he said, we can't afford. We're not good enough to throw to the wrong base, try too many pickoffs, throw the ball in the outfield.
Right back up the middle. That's going to score Eckstein. The throw to the plate. It's not going to score Eckstein. What a throw by Melky Cabrera.
Right to the plate.
We are scoreless, despite what I said. San Diego threatens, but the Padres do not score thanks to Melky Cabrera's throw from center field. Here's the Atlanta batting order. Martin Prado leads it off, then Jason Hayward and Omar Infante in there for chipper tonight. Troy Gloss hits cleanup. Brian McCann hits fifth, and Matt Diaz. Alex Gonzalez hitting seventh. Melky Cabrera eighth, and Jair Jurgens on the mound for the Braves.
And the Braves' first look at Wade LeBlanc from Lake Charles, Louisiana. He's 25 years old, 6'3", 200-pounder, a rookie out of the University of Alabama, former second-round pick back in 2006. You see his numbers for the year. He's 2-3 on the road, but he has gone through a real dry spell. Over his last 4 games, he's lost 3 straight decisions and given up 7 homers in those 4 games. But a solid left-hander that they like a lot and compare favorably, at least Buddy did, to Charlie Leibrandt.
LeBlanc way out of the zone with the first pitch to Prado. He's just been trying to tell him you don't need to throw 100 miles an hour to have success. Charlie Leibrandt didn't do that. This guy will rarely hit 90 on the gun, has a great changeup.
Like Charlie did. Fastball changeup, but he's trying to get him to locate his fastball a little better.
He's ahead of Martin, a ball and 2 strikes. Did you think that ball was going to score Eckstein, or was it just me?
I didn't think Eckstein had any shot at all.
Yeah.
No, usually 2 outs.
Thanks,
2 outs.
partner. Yeah.
You're off with the crack of the bat.
Hit to center, and Tony Gwynn makes the play, 1 down.
I'll tell you, this was great defense, though, by Melky getting to the ball quickly and getting rid of it in a hurry. Troy Gloss scared me to death. I thought he was going to cut it. But Brian McCann with a great block of the plate, too. And Eckstein got there. There was no place to go. He never got to the plate. Well done by McCann.
Here's Jason Hayward. Got out of that 0 for 16 slump, and the last 3 games he's 3 out of 8.
I saw him taking as good a round of batting practice today as I've seen him take all year, and the ball was jumping off his bat. He was able to get full extension on his swing. I asked Terry Pendleton about it, and he said, you know, he came in early and was hitting some in the indoor cage, and I noticed the same thing. And Terry said to him, well, you must be feeling better, and he said, a lot better.
That was a quick at bat for Jason as he's called out on strikes.
Here's the defense for the Padres. Behind LeBlanc, Scott Hairston in center, in left, Gwynn in center, DeNorfia in right, Headley, Hairston, Eckstein, and Gonzalez from third to first, and Hundley doing the catching.
Here's Omar Infante hitting third tonight. And again showing his value with a start at third base wherever they need him.
That was the changeup from LeBlanc. His last start against Colorado, he got beat 4-2. Gave up 4 runs in 5 2/3 innings, but 3 homers. He's given up 12 in all.
Omar waits. And takes the ball 3-0. Four hits on Sunday for Infante, as the Braves salvaged a split of that 4-game set, and he draws a first inning walk. There's Troy Gloss to face LeBlanc, who in his last 5 starts is 0-3, hasn't won since June 12th against Seattle.
Omar's got to be careful at first base. LeVlec has a good move over there. He has 6 pickoffs. That leads the National League. He's only second to Mark Burley of the White Sox in the majors.
Troy on the homestand, 5 out of 14, 357. 59 runs batted in. Infante with his lead at first. And LeBlanc just lets him know he's over there.
And that was just a show-me move. Yeah, that was not his A move.
And there it was again. Does he fit the crafty lefty label?
I think so. We'll have a better idea as the game goes along. But based on the scouting reports, yes. Crafty always applies to guys that don't throw hard.
But it rarely applies to righties. I never hear anybody as a crafty righty. It's always a crafty lefty.
Yeah, right-handers usually, that term is usually, oh, he's just a thumber. Like Galima when he pitched.
Two balls and one strike. Good to have Hal back with us tonight. What a very, very deep statistical team with Hal and Underdog.
See that vein get real big in his neck too, and they called him a thumber.
2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's a great change up there. All Southeastern Conference, All American at Alabama, set all kinds of school records.
Ball's pretty well hit, but Tony Gwynn is there. And that's it for the Braves in the first. We are scoreless heading to the second here on Peachtree TV. Field, the Padres and the Braves on Peachtree TV. Jair Jurgens completing his warm-up tosses. He will face Scott Hairston, Chris Denorfia, and Tony Gwynn. We got the Hairston brothers on this team. Jerry hits leadoff. Scott hitting 6th. Scott is the younger brother, and Jerry says, yeah, they used to do that whole thing where Younger brother always begged to play with the older kids, you know, and pitch to him underhand and all that stuff. But they did play together on the Mexico team on the World Baseball Classic. But for the first time here, are teammates in the bigs.
Yeah, their dad played in the big leagues with several different clubs, but mostly the White Sox. Left-handed hitter, actually, and was a very good pinch hitter.
The 0-1. JJ out ahead. Scott Harrison was actually on the Padres last year, got traded in July to Oakland, then got traded back to San Diego in January, and 2 days later they signed his brother. He's 30, his brother's 34. Born, well, their birthdays are 4 days apart in May.
It's a pretty good pitch. It wasn't a called strike 3 there.
One, 2 is upstairs. Count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes here in the second. To left. Matt Diaz. 1 down. If you're just joining us, Bobby Cox not managing the club tonight. Not appealing his 1-game suspension for the altercation, I guess you could call it, over the weekend, or the incident when Johnny Venners hit Prince Fielder. So he cannot be anywhere in the team area, as they put it. Chino Carajillo, the bench coach, is managing tonight. But unlike some other sports, basketball for one, if you're suspended, you can't even be at the park or in the arena. He can be at the stadium, just cannot be in one of the team areas. Johnny Venners, meantime, is appealing his 4-game suspension handed down by Major League Baseball. As this ball is hit deep to left, Diaz back on the track, and this ball is gone. Chris Denorfia, who hit 2 home runs the other day against Arizona on Sunday, connects here in his first at bat.
Chris Denorfia had unbelievably good numbers in the minor leagues for the Reds. Got to the big leagues as a highly touted prospect for Cincinnati. Tore his elbow up, had to have Tommy John surgery, and actually missed a full year of baseball. Went to Oakland, then signed with the Padres as a minor league free agent, and man, is he heating up. 3 homers in his last game and 1 at bat.
Well, here's Tony Gwynn. Tony's homered 3 times this year, 2 of those inside the park, had 1 of those over the weekend. He's the Padres' number 8 hitter. Well, Jair in his last 2 starts had given up first-inning home runs to Raul Ibanez and Corey Hart. That didn't happen tonight, but in the second inning, he was taken deep by Denorfia. This ball is bobbled by Prado, and it's not been an easy start for Martin.
Four errors all year long coming into tonight's play, and he's made 1 in each of the first 2 innings tonight. This one was a little in-between hop that came up on him. He almost was able to recover, but not in time with a fast runner.
Now here's LeBlanc. And this is what the Padres do well. Fundamental baseball. Swings the bat pretty well, 231, 6 out of 26, but obviously a sacrifice situation here.
Maybe why he's only got 1 sacrifice bunt. That may be another.
No balls and 2 strikes.
Trevor's brother, Glenn Hoffman, the coach at third base. Another brother combination for the Padres just a couple of years ago.
There goes Gwynn. And he can go back. As the bunt is fouled off, that goes as a strikeout of Wade LeBlanc.
It's nice that LeBlanc obliged there because Gwynn had a huge jump. Already about 2/3 of the way turned towards second base on his jump.
Now here's Jerry Hairston, struck out in the first. Throw over, Gwynn back. Gwynn leads him with 15 stolen bases. One ball, no strikes to the Padres leadoff hitter. Jerry Hairston waiting on Jair Jurgens. And the count even, a ball and a strike. When Hairston made it to the postseason last year, it was the first time in his 12-year career. Throw back behind Gwynn, almost got him by McCann. Makes it worth the wait too if you're going to wait 12 years to get in it and then win the World Series as he did with the Yankees last year.
Timing's everything. Keep an eye on Gwynn now after the pitch out. All 15 of his stolen bases have come against right-handed pitching.
Popped foul and out of play. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Deuces wild, 2-2, 2 out in the second. Jurgens throws over. That was close. Gwynn was leaning.
Jair made a little move with his head there to the right side that made it look like he was going to the plate and caught him leaning. Just did get back.
That misses, and the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. San Diego jumping out on top here in the second. Solo home run by Chris DeNorfia. The 3-2. We'll try it again.
Got him to chase a bad ball there. It looked like it was up and up high enough that Hairston couldn't get on top of it. Struck him out the first time up, leading off the game with a good fastball down and away. That was about letter high.
The 3-2 again. Misses. Runners are at first and second. And now You have to find out what's up with David Eckstein because Everth Cabrera is pinch hitting here in the second inning.
We'll have to take a look at that play again when Eckstein tried to score from second on the base hit in the first inning. Showed you earlier the replay of McCann blocking him off the plate. He may have cracked into Brian's shin guards and bruised a knee or an ankle.
Cabrera takes, it's 1-0. Here is the play you were talking about.
When you connect with those shin guards, that's a no-win proposition for your knees and shins.
That ball is hit to first as the bat is shattered. And that is the third out. But San Diego with one swing takes a 1-0 lead. We'll be right back. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. Brian McCann will lead things off. Everth Cabrera, who pinch hit for David Eckstein, will play short. And Jerry Hairston moved from short to second. Brian McCann has been sizzling. Hit to left center. Back toward that wall. One down. Scott Hairston hauled it in for the first out.
Left-handers and right-handers have been hitting LeBlanc at just about the same clip, 278, 280. But of his 12 homers, 10 have been allowed to right-handed hitters.
He faces Matt Diaz with one down. There's that good off speed. All in a strike.
Diaz has always worked left-handers over, but he got off to a slow start. First 2 months of the season, a 171 average. June and July, 474.
Got tied up inside there, but Jerry Meals said he checked the swing, 2-1.
Charlie Lee Brandt type changeup.
The count is 2-2. Hit towards second. Hairston to Gonzalez. 2 up and 2 down.
And Ernie, it's time for the know-how question of the game, built by the Home Depot. And if you have a question for us tonight, send us an email, and if chosen, we'll answer it later in the game. Send your email to braves@peachtreetv.com, and please tell us your name. And remember that more saving, more doing, that's the power of the Home Depot.
Alex Gonzalez hits with 2 down. Picked up hits in each of the first 2 games in the Braves uniform. It's just 3 for 13 in that series with Milwaukee, and is 0 for his last 5. There it was again, the change, and it's ball and 2 strikes. Did he check? He did not. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Wade LeBlanc. Second strikeout for the left-hander. It's 1-0 San Diego. It is time to take a look at the SunTrust Solid Performance, brought to you by SunTrust. Live solid, bank solid. Road batting average. See Adrian Gonzalez at .350, which is second in the National League.
Yeah, how about Rafael Foucault?
Not only leads that stat, leads the National League in hitting. Gonzalez reached on an error his first time.
Last 3 years for Gonzalez, homers and RBIs, 30 and 100, 36 and 119. Last year, 40 homers and 99 RBIs. Hitting between 277 and 282 all 3 of those seasons.
And can hit with power to the opposite field as well as anybody in the game. And there is a strike 3 called, 1 down.
Jair is locating his fastball with some real good consistency here. Down and away again, 2-seamer, tailing away from a dangerous hitter. And framed beautifully by Mack.
Here's Chase Headley, who struck out his first time.
There's always been talk the last 2 or 3 years about Adrian Gonzalez getting traded at the deadline. Where's Gonzalez going to go? Who's going to win the sweepstakes to get him? Because the Padres were always out of the race early. Not hearing a whole lot of that talk this year, not with the Padres in first place.
Fouled back, and in fact the discussions now totally flip-flop with the GM Jed Hoyer. San Diego looking to make a move, try to strengthen their hold on top of the National League West. Rounded to first. Loss will flip to Jurgens. 2 down. Here are the recipients of the Big Smiles seat upgrade sponsored by Dr. Deborah Gray King and the Atlanta Center for Cosmetic Dentistry. The place in Atlanta to get a beautiful smile.
Working those Dippin' Dots over too.
Perfect night for it. Temperature right around 90 at first pitch. Plenty of sun on a late summer evening. Nick Hundley swung right through it, 0-1. Jurgens has struck out 4 in the early going. He's walked 1. And he's way ahead of Hundley, 0-2.
It looks like he's beginning to get a good feel for what he's doing out there too. Much sharper here in the third.
Missed a ball and 2 strikes. The word we got on David Eckstein, by the way, a right calf strain. And so he is out for the rest of the night.
Sounds like that might have happened during the effort to run home.
Strikeout number 5 for Jurgens. An easy 1-2-3 inning in the third. Douglas from Oxford, Georgia. will have the chance to win free airfare for 2 if the Braves hit a home run during the 3rd inning. Visit PeachtreeTV.com/contest for official rules and to enter for a chance to win. AirTran Airways, go. There is nothing stopping you. What does that look like, Ditch?
I think that was the 745 to New York. That's what it looked like to me. LaGuardia.
Taking a few games, I'm getting into that rhythm of what you like to do. So good luck, Douglas from Oxford, GA. Melky Cabrera to lead it off. Braves have had 1 base runner against Wade LeBlanc. That was Omar Infante, who drew a 1st inning walk. Pops softly into shallow left. And Everett Cabrera makes the play.
Completing the first time through the order for everybody to get a look at LeBlanc, and there might be some guys going up their second time through the order looking for that changeup early in the count. And then he'll have to make some adjustments from there.
.49 on the mound and 49 at the plate. Jair Jurgens is 1 out of 13. It's 077. Takes a ball from LeBlanc. Left-hander working quickly. Another little flare out there to second this time, and Jerry Hairston makes the play. 2 down. Sometimes it's not just that you're getting outs, it's the way you're getting outs, and not many balls well hit off this kid.
No, nothing really squared up. Troy hit one pretty hard, but got under it a little bit. Diaz hit one to deep left, or excuse me, McCann did, that backed Hairston up to the wall.
Martin flied to center his first time. Missed. It's 3-0.
It's funny, that's what he did with Infante with 2 out, nobody on in the first. All of a sudden had a little trouble finding the zone.
We've seen that movie before. Rado reaches with 2 down. So what was he like as a teammate?
Outstanding. Very steady, which I think lends itself to him being a good manager. He doesn't have a lot of highs and lows. Very good calming influence. You know, he was on that managerial watch at the beginning of the year. The Padres with new ownership, new general manager. Everybody thought, well, they'll want their own guy in there as the manager of the team. They got off to a slow start. A lot of people thought Buddy Black might be one of the first managers fired, but thanks to his good work and the team that's on the field working real hard, he just got a 3-year extension.
Yeah, he and Jed Hoyer apparently have hit it off nicely, the GM.
Plus, he's a pretty good pitcher, too, Bud Black. Three-game losing streak, the longest of the year for them. That's consistent.
Hayward waits on an 0-1. All in a strike. And really, and that's the kind of thing, too, Joe, as you head down the stretch now with this many games left to go. If you can keep out of an extended losing streak, if you can send somebody out there with the pitching they have to be a stopper and say, we're struggling, but it's not going to go any further. Then you're able to keep that distance or that margin that you've got in a pennant race.
If the Braves keep playing the way they're playing right now, Ernie, keep winning series, nobody can catch them. You keep playing 660 ball, nobody can catch you.
That ball is rifled into right. Prado around second. Standing at third, they're on the corners with 2 down. That's the first Atlanta hit.
Like he made a mistake upstairs. Yeah, they wanted it up, but they didn't get it up high enough. Hundley, look, he was up out of his crouch. While LeBlanc threw it toward the target, that target wasn't high enough, and Jason able to get on top of it and rip it. Good swing.
How good would it be if this, when he went on the disabled list and had really been struggling with the thumb, it's almost like a fresh start. It's almost like, remember you came out of spring training and you were right on fire when the season began. Now you've been on the disabled list. Now you're going to get your swings back, and now you get some repetition, and now it's almost like a fresh start for Jason Heyward if he can pick up where he was in that first half before the injury.
Well, for him to say, and Terry pointed out to me today, he said for him to say, I really feel good. That's something coming from Jason.
He leads at first. Prado at third. And here's Infante, who walked his first time. Tonight's leaderboard brought to you by the Sunshine House, a tradition of excellence in early education. Look at Omar. Some lofty numbers there in the month of July.
Ahead of 3 guys from the National League West. What a splash buster Posey has made for the Giants since he got called up.
No kidding.
And Infante hitting 400 with men in scoring position and 2 out. Laid off a couple of changeups. Let's see what LeBlanc does here behind in the count. Brian McCann said before the game that you can't expect too many fastballs and fastball counts from this guy. In other words, when he's behind, when the hitter's ahead 2-0 or 3-1, you almost have to look for him to pitch you backwards with off-speed stuff.
Prado dancing off at third. Heyward at first.
Yeah, and Jason's got to be careful. I mean, with 2 out, this guy would love to pick him off and get out of this jam. So if he's got that good a move, shorten your lead up a little bit, let Omar try to drive in 1 or 2.
Three balls and a strike.
Not as easy to throw that changeup for a strike. And you got men on base and you're in a little trouble. All of a sudden, that grip gets a little different, a little tighter. He threw a 2-0 fastball. Let's see if he throws a 3-1 fastball. I don't think he will. It looks like Omar's sitting on the changeup to sit back. It was a fastball, but looked like it might have been ball 4.
Jason Heyward was on the move on the pitch.
That was a little off the plate.
So 3-2 with 2 out. Heyward will rev it up again at first. And Infante stays alive. When he went 4 for 5 in the finale of that Brewers series, it was his career high, equaling his career high with those 4 hits in a game. And he can tie the game if he picks one up here.
Trying to stay away from him.
And the change has gotten another victim. This has been the AirTran Airways home run inning of the game. Be sure to register at PeachTreeTV.com/contest for official rules and for your chance to win. Braves being blanked by LeBlanc. We'll be back. In this battle of division leaders, San Diego leads Atlanta 1-0 as we head to the fourth.
And here's tonight's Toyota trivia question. Visit your local Toyota dealer today. Toyota moving forward. Who was the MVP of the 1998 NLCS between the Padres and the Braves? One that didn't go so well for Atlanta.
Scott Hairston leads it off for San Diego. Top half of the fourth. Flying out to left his first time.
There have been several nominees for that award. Kevin Brown for the Padres. Ken Caminetti for San Diego, Steve Finley. Or how about Michael Tucker, who had a big series for Atlanta?
On a hop to short. Gonzalez throws him out 1-0. This is your first time watching Alex Gonzalez. He is silky smooth. That's short. Now this guy has absolutely been on fire. 6 out of his last 6. 3 of them home runs. Chris Denorfia. And he homered in the second.
Jumped on a fastball. That was down, but he went down and got it. Had a lot of the plate.
So it's one of those times, Joe, as a hitter, that you're just seeing the ball so well, and everything looks big and everything slows down.
Usually what's slowing down is your move to the ball. You're waiting for the ball to come out of the pitcher's hand. That's why you're seeing it so well, trusting your hands to work.
The 2-0. To left center. Diaz over and Cabrera camps under it. Hey, you got him out. 2 down. Now here's Tony Gwynn. How many hitters are better than his dad? count them on one hand?
Maybe a couple of fingers. All you need.
A real student of the science of hitting was Tony Gwynn Sr.
He was a guy who never struck out any. Able to hit the ball sharply to all fields.
This ball up the middle. 2-out single for Tony Gwynn. And that'll bring the pitcher to the plate here in the fourth. So whether this inning goes anywhere or not, a valuable 2-out single by Gwynn.
Here's the only problem with Gwynn batting 8th. They moved him out of the leadoff spot and bat 8th. If you get on with 2 out and you want to take a chance and steal, if you get caught, you have the pitcher leading off the next inning.
That's down the third baseline. And Gwynn will motor toward third. Told you LeBlanc had a very respectable .231 average coming in, 6 out of 26.
Yeah, he didn't like that bunting thing too much, did he? He's got his bat in front of it and put it between Omar and the bag. Nice play here by Matt Diaz, sliding over there to keep it from getting past him. If he doesn't stop it, Gwynn scores easily.
So with 2 out, back-to-back singles have set the table for Jerry Hairston. Who has not put the ball in play in 2 at-bats. Struck out in the first, walked in the second. He bats now in the fourth and takes a strike.
This is played by Matt down in foul territory. Hustled over there to make sure he got to it before it hit the wall, too. If it caroms off the wall or skips off that concrete at the bottom of the wall, might have gotten by him.
That could be a huge hustle play in this inning, as Hairston takes a ball and a strike. Jurgens to the plate. Hairston fooled. It's a ball and 2 strikes.
Got him to chase that slider. Looked like he had made up his mind he was going to get a fastball, was going to try to pull it. And a good call by McCann, and Jurgens delivered it to the right spot off the plate. Let's see if they go back to the slider. Oh, Peter.
And he struck him out for the second time tonight. And Jair works out of a 4th inning jam. We're going to the bottom half in a 1-0 game.
We go to the bottom half of the fourth inning. Padres still up 1-0 on the Chris Denorfia home run in the second. Time for the answer to tonight's Toyota Trivia question. Who was the MVP of the 98 NLCS between the Padres and Braves? Al Galima came up with a good choice, and that was Sterling Hitchcock, who beat the Braves twice in that series. And way to go, Hal. Only one run allowed to the Braves in 10 innings and had 14 strikeouts. And he's a guy that pitched a lot like LeBlanc. Big Cat with a good Big Cat trot. And here was the last out as the Padres went to the World Series. Padres led that series 3-0, 3 games to none. Braves won the next 2 games, and in Game 6 back here at Turner Field, shut out Hitchcock and the Padres shut out the Braves 5-0. Hal tells me that Greg Maddux even got a save in that series.
There is very little that the H-bomb does not know.
It's true.
Here's Troy Gloss to lead off the fourth. Braves have 1 hit, that coming from Jason Hayward. In the third, they had runners at the corners, but could not score. So it's a 1-0 game and a 1-1 count to Gloss.
I asked Troy today about his bat that he uses, because he's another guy. I mean, he's got a big cut, big swing, big man, strong. But there are times where he doesn't swing real hard and the ball just flies off his bat. And I asked him if he swung a heavy bat. And by today's standards, it is pretty heavy. It's 33 ounce. Most guys are 32, 31. He's a 35, 33. 35 inch, 33 ounce.
Gloss takes, and the count is full, 3-2. Outfield played pretty much straight away on Troy, and the infield, Jerry Hairston shaded over toward the bag. And there is a leadoff walk in the fourth.
Love leadoff walks.
First time tonight the Braves have had the leadoff hitter on, and here's Brian McCann.
As Tom Glavine said the other day, a lot of big innings seem to start with a leadoff walk. Oh, boy, was he on that fastball. Here's the slam he hit on Sunday on an 0-2 count. Trying to sneak a fastball by him inside, and can't do that. Not this guy.
Righties, lefties makes no difference to number 16. That was some week for Brian McCann. From Anaheim back to Atlanta. Big hit after big hit. He's behind 0-2.
That was a perfect pitch, or one that was a little wide of the plate that he got the call on. The Braves' last 9 grand slams, he's hit 6 of them.
He bats with Gloss at first and takes all in 2 strikes.
Last year the Braves didn't hit any grand slams all year long. This year they have at least 3. Prado, the huge one by Conrad against the Reds. McCann Sunday. 3 for the year.
Popped him up. Shallow right. Hairston back. One down.
We were talking about Black today, and he was talking about LeBlanc and his changeup, Ernie. I said, well, what does he throw left-handers? Because a lot of times a left-handed pitcher won't throw a changeup. He can't locate a changeup to a left-hander like he can a right-hander. He goes, oh, he'll throw in the changeup. And he just did that to Brian McCann, and with good result.
Matt Diaz is 0 for 1, but he's been hot. That ball's hit well down the line and left, and it is out of here. Matt Diaz with a 2-run shot.
His 4th home run this month, his 9th and 10th RBIs. He was 5 for 12 with 2 homers against the Brewers, and he stayed back and waited on that pitch beautifully. Boy, did he throw his hands out there on it. Hotter than a dancing bobcat.
Hotter than a dancing bobcat. Gonzalez takes. It's 2-0. He checked. It's 3-0. Pitch number 60 by Wade LeBlanc is a strike. I tell you, a healthy Matt Diaz means so much to this Atlanta attack.
It balances the lineup a lot, Ernie, with the Braves playing right around 500 ball all year against left-handed pitching. A lot of that's because Matt's not been in there. He missed so much time with the surgery on his thumb. But it helps balance the lineup when you do platoon. When Bobby platoons, if he takes Hinsky out against a left-hander, Matt can step in and just pick up where Eric left off.
The 3-2 is grounded to short. Cabrera throws out Gonzalez. 2 down. Now here's Melky. Popped out his first time, saved a run in the first. Great throw from center field. Gunned down David Eckstein. Line in the left.
It was fun today watching batting practice for the group that Melky was hitting in. It was hot and everybody's getting a little tired, but in the last round, Chino Cadajillo was throwing to him, and he said to the 4 guys, you're going to get 1 homer. Only 1 out of this group. I'm not going to give up any more than that. And the first guy that stepped up was Troy Glossy, hit a homer. Hayward just missed one, and then Melky hit one so far it was unbelievable. He hit it above the walkway up near section 138 straightaway left.
Jurgens taps back to the mound, and that'll do it for the Braves in the 4th. But Matt Diaz has struck again. The Braves lead it 2-1. Top half of the fifth in a 2-1 game as the Braves have taken the lead with the long ball. And LeBlanc and Jurgens through 4. You see the numbers.
1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and again that leadoff walk came back to bite LeBlanc in the 4th.
Everth Cabrera will lead it off for San Diego. He was not in the starting lineup tonight, but came on when David Eckstein had to leave with a right calf strain. Shortened the bunt and took 1-0. Cabrera was tossed for the first time the other day, ejected in that game against Arizona for a dust-up at third base with Mark Reynolds.
Yeah. A near fisticuff. I thought watching the replays, a little bit of incidental contact too. That Reynolds had to catch a pickoff throw and fall across the body of Cabrera, kind of rolled over the top of him, and umpires determined that Cabrera kind of kicked him or kicked at him.
And then there were lots of guys on the field and nothing happening. It's always interesting when the bullpen shows up. The cavalry comes in about a minute and 18 seconds after everything has already settled down.
I like in some of the ballparks, let's say like in Philadelphia. The new park in Philadelphia, the bullpens are stacked on top of each other. If something breaks out, why don't they just do battle right out there?
Yeah, they can have their own separate one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Save them a lot of running.
Yeah, the visitors can just jump down onto the Phillies bullpen. Cabrera draws a walk. Here's the incident from Sunday.
Reynolds rolled over him, and right there with the leg between Reynolds' legs, Mark took exception, and Cabrera was ready to use his helmet for a weapon. Everth, somewhat smaller, you might say, than Mr. Reynolds, so he was trying to look for any advantage he could get.
Well, Joe, as you pointed out in the bottom of the 4th, those leadoff walks always seem to lead to big difficulties, and here's a leadoff walk to Cabrera.
Especially with this part of the order coming up.
Gonzalez was called out on strikes his last time, reached on one of 2 errors by Martin Prado in this game.
Just showed you the graphic that he's got 20 homers on the year, 60 RBIs, leads the National League with 9 opposite field homers. I was just looking at his splits on where his hits go, and he has 41 hits to left field, 36 to right, and 22 up the middle. So actually more hits to the opposite field than he pulls.
And you can see Melky Cabrera shading him slightly toward left, and this ball is hit right where Melky was playing. In a few steps, 1 down.
That's good pitching. That's pitching to the scouting report. McCann setting up inside. Gonzalez likes the ball out away from him, and they tied him up. Watch how he has to try and pull his hands in here to try to get the barrel to the ball, and got under it as a result. Did not get his arms extended. Good pitch.
There's the Padres cleanup hitter, Chase Headley. He's 0 for 2. Cabrera inches away, and then there's a throw over by Jurgens.
mentioned earlier that the Padres are second in the league in stolen bases as a team with 79, but they're last in the league in caught stealing. So Buddy Black's crew, they know they've got to do some things to try to create runs. They're not afraid to run, but they've been caught stealing 32 times to go with their 79 SDs.
There he goes, and the throw by McCann. Got him! Put another in the CS department. And here comes Bud Black.
Good jump, good crossover step by Cabrera. Tag was on his back. I don't know if his hand got in there first or not. Close call, but it went the Braves' way. He might have had a legitimate beef.
The count on Headley is a ball and a strike. Behind second. Prado makes the play. And that'll do it for the Padres in the fifth. We're going to the bottom half with the Braves on top, 2-1.
Wow. Two to one, bottom of the fifth inning. What's that? Oh, it's part of the Braves Pennant Race six-pack. It's on sale now, here and on the Moon. Pick any 6 Braves home games and receive a $10 food and beverage credit for each game for a savings of up to 40% off the regular price. To order, visit braves.com/pennantpack.
You're watching Braves baseball on Peachtree TV. Another nice crowd on a beautiful night. And a series we've been looking forward to. Division leaders, Braves and the Padres. And right now, Atlanta with the 2-1 lead. And the top of the order, Martin Prado leads it off.
First 2-error game of Martin Prado's career tonight. 1 in the first, 1 in the second.
He's behind 0-2.
And if you know Martin like we do, he could hit a home run every at bat the rest of the night. He'll have a hard time sleeping tonight because of the errors.
Those are the only 2 balls hit on the ground to him in this game. So he'd probably like another couple of chances to get the feel good back. Ball and 2 strikes. LeBlanc to the plate. And the change has claimed another victim.
Pirates led that game in Pittsburgh 9-0 after one inning. Alvarez, their hot prospect at third base, 2 for 2 with 2 homers. They're only in the 4th in that game. And Melvin Mora with 5 RBIs for the Rockies tonight.
Keeping our eye on that Philadelphia game. St. Louis got him last night. Jason Hayward takes 1-0.
Braves catch a break when they go to Florida after this series. They will not scheduled to face Josh Johnson.
That ball is hit right on the screws and off the wall. Hayward is at second and will stay right there.
I'm telling you, Ernie, there was just something different tonight when he was swinging the bat in batting practice. And it's hard to describe, but when you see a guy from one day to the next and how different it is that they're swinging the bat and how the ball's jumping off their bat, you can just tell it. And when I said something to Pendleton, he already knew that from their work in the cage. But if you weren't with us before, what Jason said to Terry was, Terry said, "You look like you're feeling good," and Jason said, "I feel real good."
He is 2 out of 3. And he has smoked those last 2. Omar Infante has walked and struck out.
That line shot really took off, didn't it?
Like a 4-iron. One guy the Braves will not see on the San Diego pitching staff, Matt Latos, who's been so effective this season. They're kind of monitoring his innings, just like the Nationals are Steven Strasburg. That ball is looped behind second. Get back, Jason. Oh, now Cabrera drops the ball and everybody's safe. And now we're going to have an argument. The Padres want to say he caught that ball and was trying to double up Hayward at second. And now the men in blue will gather and see how they viewed it.
It's kind of a late call from Iasonia at third base. He had the best view of it coming out of Cabrera's glove and or hand. Trying to make a transfer, and they're going to call him out.
And that will bring Chino Cadahia out of the Braves dugout, filling in for Bobby Cox tonight. The overrule is that he did catch this ball and lost it in the transfer.
And at least in slow motion, it looks like he did have it. But he didn't make a clean transfer. He never had it in his bare hand.
So Chino continues to have his say, and the Braves fans are getting into it. So you know, Joe, you always want to say, hey, the umpires got together and they got it right. Did they get it right?
I'm not sure they did. I'm really not sure they did, because the umpires like to see you make a clean transfer to your throwing hand. That didn't come out of his throwing hand. That came out of his glove trying to go to the throwing hand.
I'll tell you this, if he does catch it cleanly, Jason's doubled off a second.
That's true.
But he's still out there, 2 down now for Troy Gloss.
And way to go, Chino. He didn't go out there just for a courtesy call. He went out there and gave him what for.
And the Braves coaching staff was saying, look, if he gets tossed here, since Bobby's not here and Chino's not here.
Terry and Roger are over there going, you want to do it?
I'll do the evens, you do the odds. Hundley and LeBlanc are going to talk it over.
Pick your poison here. You got Gloss, the right-handed hitter, and then you got McCann next.
The 1-0.
Another angle on that play out there in shallow left field. I thought the one we had earlier this was a little clearer. We try to give you all the angles.
Through it all. There are 2 outs and a runner at second. And Troy Gloss, who has 29 2-out runs batted in. Good for a second-place tie in the National League behind Ryan Howard, who's got 33. Has a chance to pick one up here.
Umpires, Ernie, will give middle infielders some leeway on those double play balls where toss goes to second. Sometimes they don't get the ball out of the glove cleanly. They'll give them some leeway on, yeah, you had him for the force out there and the ball popped out. It doesn't apply on pop-ups. That's different. You got to catch the ball cleanly and make a good transfer.
The count is full to the Braves cleanup hitter Troy Gloss with 2 out here in the 5th. Braves trying to build on a 2-1 lead. Jason Hayward out there at second after his second hit of the night. A ringing double to the gap.
It's hard to do this here, I know, because you got that guy at second base, but this guy's pitched backwards all night. He's got first base open. No reason to have to throw a strike. He might sit on the changeup.
There it was, and it was out of the zone, and they were 2 on with 2 out. Fourth walk by the Padre left-hander.
Ernesto Frieri loosening up in their pen and ready to go. They're missing Mike Adams, who's a premier setup guy, one of the stalwarts in their bullpen, but they've got some excellent arms down there to fill in and take up the gap, fill up the gap.
So Wade LeBlanc faces a dangerous hitter in Brian McCann with 2 on and 2 out. Brian's 0 for 2. Hit the ball pretty well in the second when he flied out to left and popped to second.
They worked Brian away early in the count his last time up. I know that last pitch was inside, but it was a curveball. Let's see if they try to throw him something away again, and if he's looking middle of the plate away.
Two balls and no strikes. Matt Diaz on deck. His 2-run homer has staked the Braves to the 2-1 lead. Right off the end of the bat. End of threat. So LeBlanc gets out of it. We have played 5 at Turner Field. Division leaders squaring off, and it's the Braves 2-1. 1-5-0 for the Padres, 2-4-2 for the Braves as we move to the top half of the 6th inning. The only run allowed by Jair Jurgens on a solo home run in the second by Chris Denorfia. The Braves with a 2-run homer from Matt Diaz. That's all the scoring. Nick Hundley leads it off, the San Diego catcher. Top 6. And another solid showing from Jair Jurgens tonight, Joe.
Yep, pitching into the 6th inning here again and having given up only 5 hits. Only 2 since the 2nd inning. Five innings in his first start against Washington, gave up 1 run, got the win. 6 innings against Philadelphia in his second start, gave up 3 runs and got no decision, and then pitched into the 7th against Milwaukee in his last start. 1 run allowed in 6 2/3. 2-0 since he came back. And the great thing about it is he's back and he's got a fresh arm, having thrown only 41 innings coming into play tonight.
This will be pitch number 80 here in the top of the 6th. Popped straight up. Ryan McCann was kind of looking around. It's out of play. Ball and 2 strikes. We mentioned Latos, who's on the disabled list. They were going to try to push back a start for him anyway. Mentioned the fact that they're monitoring innings, much like Steven Strasburg, 150 to 175 or so for the year. And then he was in Colorado and trying to stifle a sneeze and pulled a muscle, and they put him on the disabled list. But we miss him this time around. And as Hundley fouls it off. Ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, that's a break. I mean, he's a 10-game winner. He's pitched well. He's pitched well against Atlanta. And as I said, the Braves are not scheduled to see Josh Johnson in the stop in Florida. It appears they probably will see Steven Strasburg in Washington next week, a week from today.
1-2. Hit hard, and Omar Infante flagged it down.
Hit right on the button, but not past the third baseman.
So here is Scott Hairston, who is 0 for 2. Nice pitch. Ball and a strike.
The only thing that seems to be lacking coming into the start, maybe early in this game, is just Jair's command of his changeup, just that release point and the feel for it. And it's good, getting really good right now.
1 ball and 2 strikes. The Padres, as a team, hitting .253 coming in, 13th in the National League. Their home run tonight was their 76th, which tied them with the Braves until Diaz went deep. And by comparison, Toronto with 140 to lead baseball.
Yeah, that's kind of out of the blue a little bit as well. Especially when Bautista's the guy leading the majors in homers. You didn't expect that.
Braves came in tonight with 70 games left. 40 of those will be in the division.
Oh, just missed.
3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Braves 6 of their last 9 games of the year are against the Phillies. That's not right. 6 of their last 12 against the Phillies. The other 6 are at Washington, 3 at Washington, 3 at home with Florida.
That is strikeout number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for Jair Jurgens. Well, maybe by that time Strasburg will have reached his max in innings worked. You know, say take this start off.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they will do their best to adhere to what they've already laid out there about how many innings. But it's going to be interesting to see how many of those starts are at home for the Nationals. Pacing. And it just so happens every one of those last 5 starts are going to be at home. We'll see.
Here's the dangerous Chris Denorfia. Hits this one off the end of the bat. And the guy who homered earlier hits a little squibber for the final out of the 6th. Nice, easy inning for JJ. We're going to the bottom of the 6th.
About Matt Diaz. Home runs in each of his last 3 games. Saturday night, Sunday afternoon, a launch job. And tonight, like a slider or cut fastball that was misplaced by Mr. LeBlanc, and Matt Diaz placed it into the seats. That's accounted for both Braves runs. They lead 2-1.
That has been the difference as we go to the bottom of the 6th. A ground out and a long ball for Matt. Fouled off and out of play, 0-1. In his last start, LeBlanc at Colorado went into the 6th, pitched 5 2/3. In a game they lost, he threw 102 pitches. He's at 91 here as he faces Diaz. Hit hard but foul, and he's down 0-2.
These two teams, when you start getting to the latter stages of a ball game, that's when you start looking at, well, who's got the best bullpen? And by stats, the Padres do. When the Padres lead after 7 innings, they're 41-3. When they lead after 8, they're 45-1. They finish games. But the Atlanta Braves, good pitch and another good changeup. The Braves, when they lead after 7, 41-1. And when they lead after 8, they're 44-1. They don't give away anything either. So it's best to have the lead on these two sides late in the ball game.
And one of the things Bud Black has done so well on that San Diego side is set up that bullpen. You get to this inning and this inning and this inning, and certainly having Adams out hurts, but he's got Gregerson in there who's been really effective trying to get to Heath Bell.
Their bullpen, it's not unusual for them to have to pitch a lot of innings. 27 times this year they've gone at least 3 innings and allowed no runs.
You won't see LeBlanc get much higher than 86 on that gun. Threw it by Gonzalez, who is 3 for 15 now as a Brave.
That 86 looked like about 93 or 4, though, after all the off-speed pitches.
Pops up the 1-2, and it's out of play.
Tony Gwynn, anytime this time of night a foul ball comes back our way, I try to look at the outfielders right away. And Tony Gwynn had no idea where that ball went.
We saw Brian McCann in the last half inning searching for that foul pop behind the plate that was out of play. It's held up.
What a hat does Tony have working out there?
That's almost beyond a straight bill.
Yeah, there for a minute I thought it was Goober Pyle-like.
Line softly into center, out of the reach of Hairston, and there is Tony Gwynn Jr. He throws it in. Gonzalez on with one down. I thought Tour de France-like almost.
There you go.
Bill
yeah,
flipped up.
Thing. There's somebody that got a piece of that change up. Just a little flip into center field, kind of a Ric Flair base hit to center.
I'm not biting on that. I let the rest of the guys on the crew do that. Here's Melky. He's 1 out of 2.
All precincts reported on that one.
So you're telling me Melky took Chino bridge today, huh?
I mean, while Chino was trying to limit it to 1 home run in the last round, Melky put a capper on it.
He's got 3 home runs off guys other than Chito Cadahia. And 25 runs batted in. Tapped right back to LeBlanc, who will go to second. Got the force, but could not turn 2.
Pretty quick turn to second base by LeBlanc. In fact, I think Hundley was telling him to go to first. But he did get the lead runner on another changeup that was tapped right back to him. See Hundley pointing to first. Nice job by Hairston there. Just a stretch to get the out and then still make the throw it on to first base.
And here's Jurgens with 2 out. And Cabrera at first. Through Jair that change. 0-1. Looks like they've gone to the fourth in St. Louis. Cardinals beating the Phillies. Slow roller that Hairston will field for the third out. 6 innings in the books at Turner Field. Braves on top 2-1.
Braves Baseball on Peachtree TV brought to you by the World of Coca-Cola. Where else could you hug a 7-foot-tall polar bear? Take home a free 8-ounce glass bottle of Coke. Experience a thrilling 4D theater and taste beverages from around the world. Visit the World of Coca-Cola today.
As we head to the 7th, we take a look at the Braves' upcoming schedule, brought to you by AirTran Airways. Go! There's nothing stopping you. Tomorrow night, right back here on Peachtree TV, 7 o'clock Eastern Time for Game 2 of this series, and the finale, Getaway Day on Thursday on Sports South at 1:05. Sports South also has the Friday and Saturday games in Florida against the Marlins, and Fox Sports South Sunday at 1:10.
Yeah, 3-city road trip, Florida, Washington, and Cincinnati. Florida always gives the Braves fits down south. Washington scheduled to fire Strasburg in the first game of that series, and then Cincinnati in their ballpark. They are tough to beat at home, especially in that bandbox.
Tony Gwynn leads it off in the top half of the 7th. Luis Durango has grabbed a bat. He's in the on-deck circle to pinch hit for LeBlanc. To first. Troy will take that himself. 1 down.
I was wanting to see Durango hit, but he's been called back. He just got called up, and he's 7 for 15. Plus, anybody named Louis Durango, I want to see that guy play.
Might still have a shot at it. But instead, they're going to go with Matt Stairs. Those 20 pinch hit homers, tied with Cliff Johnson for the most. That looks like he's dropped a few pounds.
Much better shape, much trimmer.
Saw him in Philadelphia when he was hitting some tape measure shots and really looked like one of the guys in the beer league who was who would just wind up and let her go.
He's got a little bit of a softball type swing, man. Big uppercut.
Grounded toward short. Gonzalez gets him by a step, and that got down the line pretty well.
Good changeup again from Jair. Last 2.5 innings, 2 to 3 innings, his changeup and the touch on it have been outstanding and more Jurgens-like. There's a good low fastball hitter, and that ball just kind of dying away from him, and he hit it right off the end of the bat.
Now here's Jerry Hairston, who has had some trouble with Jair tonight. He struck out twice and walked. Quickly 2 down here in the 7th. So you can't ask for much more than LeBlanc gave him. Gave up, 1 long ball, 2 runs, in 6 innings of work.
Yeah, he pitched great, I thought, and the only thing he'd probably like to have back is that leadoff walk to Gloss leading off the 4th that preceded the homer.
The 1-1.
See if this follow through gets Brian. Oh my gosh, right on the bare arm. Now that didn't break his arm, I'll never know. Man.
The abuse he takes back there. Remember we saw him take that foul ball right off the right forearm. This one, the bat gets him on the left forearm.
If it hits the back of the glove, sometimes the glove will help protect your hand, but this looks like it got right on the bare forearm. Oh, oh.
The 2-2. Some of that icy spray ready there in the Braves dugout. Spraying him down when he gets in there. He is a tough customer behind that plate. Jair trying to set down the Padres in order here in the 7th. The 2-2.
Oh. A couple of times tonight on the fastball. One in the first inning where it looked like he had made a good pitch for the out. I guess that one was just a little low.
The payoff pitch to the Padres leadoff hitter. And a 2-out walk. There is Johnny Venners in the Atlanta pen. Again, he is appealing the 4-game suspension imposed by Major League Baseball for hitting Prince Fielder the other day after he'd been warned. Bobby Cox serving his 1-game suspension tonight. Peter Moylan has joined him in the Atlanta pen. 2 down. Everett Cabrera is down 0-1.
Well, chances are real good this is the last inning for Jair. We'll wait to see how that plays out, but this is the longest he's pitched into a ball game, and you'd like to see Gonzalez lead off the next inning. Venners is ready to pitch to him if Cabrera reaches.
That was pitch number 104. And the count to Cabrera, 1-1. This is the guy you want to get, the light hitting shortstop, as opposed to the power hitter on deck. Runner going, and he got him again. Second time tonight, Brian McCann has thrown out a runner stealing. We are going to the bottom half of the 7th. Time to stretch. This September, SEC Saturdays return to Peachtree TV. Catch all the hard-hitting football action as your favorite SEC football teams go head-to-head, live in HD on Peachtree TV. Are we getting that close again already?
I guess so.
Ryan Webb is the new San Diego pitcher in relief of Wade LeBlanc, who went 6.
Good numbers for him, like there are for a lot of their guys out of the bullpen. 3-1 with a 2.19. But over his last 10 outings, his ERA has gone up a little bit. He's given up 7 earned runs in his last 11 innings. So he's hit a little dry spell among their bullpen leadoff hitters, though. Just 4 for 29 against him on the year.
This will be a little different look than they got from LeBlanc, as Bud Black put it succinctly.
Yeah.
You got Webb out there. He's got a big arm. He faces Martin Prado. And that's the first time the gun's gone over 90 on that side.
.6'6", 215 out of Clearwater, Florida.
Prado hits the bag. That's a fair ball, and he's going to dig for 2. The throw just late. A hustling double for Martin Prado.
.26th of the year, and it's a beaut. Hanging breaking ball, and he fought it off. He told me before the ball game he felt like he'd suddenly fallen into some tough luck. He'd hit some line drives at people, some hard ground balls at people. This time he hits the bag, so that was some good fortune. Did you see what else he did, Ernie? When he rounded the bag as he was going to second, he knew that it was going to be a close play. He kind of went a little wider out toward right and right center, hoping to maybe get in the line of the throw in case it hit him.
Will make that throw a little more difficult. And the other thing that you notice too, not just the hustle, but the spirit and the clap in the hands. And here you are in a matchup with another division leader, and that's a leadoff double in the 7th in a 2-1 game.
Look at this, Jason squaring to bunt to move him over. Thinking about playing some small ball.
Jason is 2 out of 3. Hit the ball hard in the 3rd for a single and a double in the 5th. Webb rushes it up there pretty good again at 95.
That's Joe Thatcher in their bullpen, left-hander. Again, some of the guys having to assume some different roles in the absence of Mike Adams.
That ball's hit right on the nose again. Gwynn's back and he can't make the play. Jason is at second. They're going to wave Prado. And he's in. The Braves lead at 3-1 and Hayward's at third.
Ernie, that ball did the same thing as the line drive in the 5th. Remember when I said that ball just seemed to take off? So did this one. A low fastball at 95, and then it just had another gear. And Tony Gwynn Jr., I mean, it's a hard one to read. The line drive hit right at you, but that ball just seemed to take off like a good four-seam fastball. And then when he saw the throw to the plate, Jason, again with those great instincts, took an extra base on the Padres.
So now a 3-1 game, and Jason Hayward 90 feet away with Omar Infante at the plate. Fouls it off, 0-1.
It's one thing to come to the park and feel good and have good rounds of batting practice, and if it doesn't really translate to success during the game, you're still fighting it a little bit. But tonight, it's been a return of the real Jason Hayward. Ball jumping off his bat.
Hayward leads at third. And Infante down 0-2. Ryan Webb in immediate trouble out of the San Diego pen.
We brag on Omar and his versatility and what he can do, but one thing that really stands out about him, and that is among hitters that have at least 100 at bats, he has the highest batting average against right-handed pitchers in baseball at 373 against right-handers.
Padre infield drawn in. Infante takes, it's 2-2.
Come on!
Back-to-back doubles by Prado and Hayward that plated another Atlanta run. And Omar Infante, after falling behind 0-2, has run the count full.
Well, their infield has to play in this situation, Ernie. You can't afford to give up any more runs because, quite frankly, they're not a good come-from-behind team. They don't hit enough homers to have that big inning to play catch-up late in the ball game. So they've got to save runs where they can.
The 3-2. And they're on the corners with nobody out.
Webb very mad at himself when he came off the mound, and that's going to draw the infielders in to talk to him. For some reason, he had a real big reaction after that pitch got away from him. Curveball nowhere near, and
not only did the pitch not do what he wanted it to, he lost a guy he had down 0-2.
Right.
So here is Troy Gloss as the Braves try to break this thing open in the 7th. They lead 3-1. They're on first and third with nobody out. And Gloss, who has walked twice and flied out, stands at the plate facing Ryan Webb. Right back to the mound. Now what am I going to do? Makes the play to first. Webb looked at second, he looked at third, looked back at second, threw to first.
Well, he had an excellent chance to still get the double play even after freezing Jason Hayward. It's almost like he looked out there and saw too many bodies standing at second. Freeze the runner at third, and then shortstop was ready, Cabrera, and he chose not to throw it to him.
So now they will walk Brian McCann to load him up, set up the double play.
Well, here's the choice for Chino Cartagena. Have Matt Diaz hit against Mr. Webb. You've got Eric Hinsky available to pinch hit, or Brooks Conrad. And they've got a left-hander, had a left-hander Thatcher ready to go, and checking their bullpen. I don't see Thatcher throwing anymore.
Diaz is 1 out of 2 against Webb, and he is swinging a hot bat.
Yeah, it's tough to take the bat out of the hands of a guy who's red hot and has hit a homer in each of the last 3 games. Must be nice to get that runner in from third. If nothing else, just another add-on run. Matt 4 for 5, getting a runner in from third, less than 2 outs.
Loaded with 1 out. Diaz into right field. One run will score. And they're still loaded. Matt Diaz delivers again.
That's a big run. Got under that fastball, pushed it up into the zone a little bit, and Matt just fought it off into right field. A thing of beauty. Infield playing up the middle for two, so there's a little opening over there. Diaz with his third RBI of the night.
So now it's 4-1, and Gonzalez at the plate with the bases loaded. He singled his last time. To second. Oh, nice play. Hairston for one. And a double play to end the inning, but the Braves add a couple. And we head to the 8th inning with Atlanta leading 4-1. Is now in center field. Melky Cabrera moves from center to left. And Johnny Venters, who can appeal his case to Major League Baseball next Tuesday in Washington, is on the mound. I
think everybody thought it was the 4-game suspension was too much. Here's what happened. That was a slider that got away from him, and he was warned, the benches were warned, and then the very next pitch, right between the numbers, that resulted in the ejection. I got an explanation that kind of made sense on the 4-game stuff. And that is, for a relief pitcher, they're trying to take 2 games away from him, where he might work in 2 of those 4 games. That's the point.
Everett Cabrera leads it off here in the 8th. A ball and a strike. Couldn't catch up to that 94 with movement. And in talking to Frank Wren, the Braves general manager today, as Cabrera goes down on strikes. I asked him, I said, this appeal process comes, were you surprised that there was action or surprised at the severity of the action? And really it's the 4 games that got his attention. You know, he even admits when the league looks at this and sees a pitch over the top and then a warning and then a pitch in the middle of the back, something's going to happen.
Yeah, I know. And And as the umpire said, it didn't look good. And Bobby's line to the next day or that night was, you know, I understand that Prince is mad, but he has to understand it was not intentional.
Right. It does come down to intent, too. That is the Braves' viewpoint on it, that he wasn't throwing at it.
Well, the next day, they were quick. The umpires were quick to issue a warning, but then they didn't throw out David Risky when he plunked somebody.
Troy Gloss, yeah. Well, here's Adrian Gonzalez with one down. Breaking ball over 0-2. Gonzalez has reached on an error, was called out on strikes, and flied to center in the 5th. If you can limit the damage this big guy can do, you got a pretty good shot against this bunch.
And he came in a hot hitter, 7 for his last 11.
Lenners is ready as Gonzalez steps back in, and here's the 0-2.
When opponents have 2 strikes on them against Johnny Venters, they're just 5 for 72 when he gets 2 strikes on him, and all 5 hits are singles.
That ball just fouled on the third baseline.
Now, what they call catcher's interference? Must have Brian McCann pleading his case to Dale Scott. But if you swing and hit the catcher's glove, it's catcher's interference and you're awarded first base. Adrian was pointing back toward Brian. Watch the glove. Must have just ticked it. You can really see Brian's glove waffle.
Goes as an E2. Gonzalez on with one down. And Chase Headley, the switch hitting cleanup hitter, turns around to bat right-handed against Venters.
When he comes to the plate, though, don't you just want to go Headley? Like from Blazing Saddles, Headley.
Well, you're going back a ways now. That was one of my faves. Mm-hmm. You and I are from the same era.
Yes. Headley Lamar, played by Harvey Korman.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here? Ball and a strike. Grounded. Look at Gonzalez with the stop at short. Can they turn 2? No.
That would have been something. It was still something. Man, is he quick. Plants threw a dart to Prado, who wasn't satisfied just to have one. Let's see if we can get 2.
Headley beats it out. So he's at first with 2 down for Nick Hundley. No relation to the catching Hundleys. Remember Randy, the old Cubs catcher? Son Todd. He singled in the first, but was robbed of an RBI when Melky Cabrera threw out David Eckstein at the plate.
Oh, did he? Yeah.
Jerry Neal said it sounded like he did.
Yes, he did.
No balls and 2 strikes. They're standing at Turner Field. Half the ballpark's got the wave going. And see if Johnny Venters can close the 8th with a punch-out.
Cardinals now 6-0 over the Phillies. Still batting bottom of the fifth for St. Louis. Chris Carpenter on the mound.
Which means the prospects of a comeback there are unlikely. But we'll see. Outside, 2-2. Keep wondering when Ruben Amaro is going to make a move in Philadelphia. It's one of the hot topics in baseball right now.
Kyle Kendrick got lit up last night by St. Louis and was sent to AAA today.
Two-two. Tap toward first. Gloss takes it himself. And that does it for the Padres in the eighth. Johnny Vetters comes on and does his job. We go to the bottom half with the Braves leading by 3.
Braves up 4-1. Time for the no-out question of the game, built by the Home Depot. And tonight it comes from Adam, who wants to know, why is it better to make the second out at third base as opposed to the first or third? Well, Adam, it's not good to make an out at third base anytime. But the idea is that if you make the first out there, it's unnecessary because you were already in scoring position at second base, and you might have put a squelch on what could have been a big inning. If you make the last out at third base, it means you were taking an unnecessary chance to try to get to third base when you were already in scoring position at second, and you thereby ended the inning by having the third out made at third. So never a good idea on the first and third outs to make them at third base.
And thank you for your question. And by the way, speaking of the Home Depot, saw one or two of those.
A lot of collisions out there.
Yeah, it's particularly grisly tonight out there.
Hammer through a shoe.
Yeah, that was an ugly scene. We're in the bottom of the eighth. New pitcher for San Diego is Tim Stauffer. Chipper did not start tonight, but he's got a bat. Ready to hit for Johnny Vetters here in the bottom half of the eighth inning. The Braves leading 4-1.
Stauffer's been in 11 games. One of those was a start. Excellent ERA of 0.37. The reason he's only been in 11 games, he had an appendectomy earlier.
That ball's hit to left. Scott Hairston makes the play, one down.
Not earlier today, but earlier in the season.
Thank you for the clarification. He missed a bunch of time. Total of 46 games. Nice hand for Chipper, as always. Tweaked the hamstring the other night. He almost came out of his shoes with a swing.
Two for four as a pinch hitter on the year. last 3 years, he's 10 for 18.
Pops this one up. Leverth Cabrera makes the play. Quickly 2 down here in the 8th.
Billy Wagner has been loosening up. We'll see him in the 9th.
Tomorrow night we'll see John Garland and Tommy Hanson in Game 2 of this series. Clayton Richard and Tim Hudson in the Thursday afternoon finale between these two. Here's Martin Prado. Martin got that 7th inning rally started with a hustling double off the bag at first. And then Hayward followed with a missile to straightaway center field. That scored Prado. And Matt Diaz would later knock in the next run. They had him played perfectly. Tony Gwynn makes the play. And a 3-up, 3-down 8th for the Braves. We are heading to the 9th. Home team trying to hold them here on Peachtree TV. The game for the AT&T Game Summary. AT&T, rethink possible. Well, the winner of this game will have the best record in the National League. Right now, San Diego has it by a half game over Atlanta. Braves can take it back if Billy Wagner can shut the door here in the 9th.
It's been a good ball game, and one that is not unlike what we thought we would see from these two teams. One team with the best road record in the Padres, one team with the best home record in the Braves. And a low-scoring game, well pitched. Just need 3 more outs if you're an Atlanta fan.
The only San Diego run tonight has come via the long ball. And that came way back in the 2nd inning. Chris DeNorfia, as Scott Hairston leads it off in the 9th against Billy Wagner. The Braves countered with a 2-run shot from Matt Diaz and then scored 2 runs in the 7th. On a Hayward RBI double. And another RBI from Diaz. 3 on the night.
Hairston 0 for 4 in his career against Billy Wagner.
Wagner looking for save number 22. He's 21 out of 24. falls behind Hairston 3-1. "18 strikeouts and no walks in Wagner's last 12 games, covering 11 2/3 innings. He's behind 3-1 to Hairston. Little pop up to Troy Gloss, 1 down.
That's a thank you very much. Trying to get an inning started to try to start a rally. 3-1. I figure him to take one more to see if he can throw a strike.
So here's DeNorfia, who hit his 5th home run in the second, accounting for the only San Diego run. The only run Jair Jurgens allowed in 7 strong innings of work. He struck out 7, allowed 5 hits. Johnny Venners came on and worked the 8th. Scoreless with a strikeout, and here we are in the 9th. Breaking ball, cut right through at 0-2.
Nasty slider here. Just took a little off.
Straight gas. Strike 3.
97. Right down Broadway. This is Aaron Cunningham, a highly touted young player that's broken in with the Padres with a bang.
Recently an 11-game hitting streak, and he's the last San Diego hope in this one.
Always nice to come off the bench cold in the 9th inning trying to catch up with this guy.
The 0-1. Now a strike away.
Billy Wagner looks in and sees a guy holding his bat real high and has so many working parts in a swing like Cunningham. His mouth waters. Tough for him to catch up to a good fastball.
The 0-2. Hit on a line to center. Gregor Blanco is right there. And game 1 of this series between division leaders goes to the Braves. Save number 22 for number 13. A 4-1 Atlanta victory. Back to wrap it up right after this.